YouTube, it's your girl Z Baby with another video, and in today's video I'm gonna be giving you guys a story time on how I lost all three of my best friends. So if you're interested in looking at this video, keep watching this video, and shout out to all my new subscribers that have subscribed to my channel. I truly appreciate every single one of y'all that has subscribed. Let's go ahead and get into the video because you know your girl can be rambling. Okay, so how I lost all three of my best friends. All right, so I'm gonna start off with my matter of fact, it's not in order. I'm just going to tell you on how I lost like my three best girlfriends. So let's get right into it. So if you guys do not know, for people that are new that are following me, a year ago I had a DWI, and I felt like I told this story before, but I didn't tell it into its entirety. So, you know, I was on a DWI for almost 2 years. Basically, I'm just gonna say 2 years because I was on DWI from 1920, and I originally got off of it in 2022. So I was on it for a long time. So 21 and 22, it started at 19, but we went into a pandemic, so they had to, you know, freeze my DUI or whatever, but I was still, you know, doing homework and all that other stuff. So my three girlfriends that I used to hang out with all the time, you know, all of my friends like to drink, and I like to drink, you know, I like to get a drink here and there, you know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is. But however, when I got on the DUI, I feel like things changed. And I will say this: if you have friends in your life or whatever, and you go through something dramatic, or you go through something traumatic, or there's things going different in your life, and your friends can't relate, or they can't stay there with you when the bad times come, 9 times out of the 10, they're not your friends. They're there for the come up, because that's what happened to me. So basically, it was all good in the hood, you know what I'm saying, when I was able to drink, hang out, people be in my car, I pick people up, whatever the case is. Sometimes people would meet me, I would meet them, vice versa. We'd get in each other's cars. No one had an issue with transportation because everybody had a vehicle. So it wasn't like, you know, I was hanging out with some bums. Okay, they had their own car, their own money, so it wasn't no issue as far as that was concerned. But the problem happened when, you know, I wasn't able to drink as much. And this is what I'm gonna say about friends, especially when you have close friends, is that I feel like alcohol changes people. So, you know, people would always say, when I turn up and I get lit, one of my friends, she said, when I turn up and I get lit, that my attitude changes, and I talk about people, and I do this and I do that. Because the baby is not perfect. I'm not perfect. I don't want nobody to ever say that I was perfect and, you know, I was the one that was always doing this, that, and the third. No, I have been there before. I've been a friend where, you know, maybe I did drink a little bit too much, and maybe, you know, I was a little intoxicated more than normal. But I will say this: I always kept it 100. And at the end of the day, when you go through an experience where you're dealing with your life being on the line, and the government or the DC, whatever, I don't want to say their name, is telling you that you can't do it anymore, then, you know, it becomes a problem. And what they don't understand is that was my second DUI. So I had got a DUI when I was about, I'm gonna say, I think I was like in my late 20s when I got my first one. And I was in DC, and my grandfather had died. And I remembered when my grandfather died, I tried to basically endanger myself. So what I did was I drank like 4 Long Islands on top of 4 shots of Jameson, and then I had Jim Beam with ginger, and I got behind the wheel and I started driving. However, they said that I was swerving. I don't remember I was swerving. I just remember blasting my music and driving down the road because I had lost my grandfather, and my grandfather was a big part of my life. I loved him so much. Like, he was my guy. Anyway, that was my first DUI. Then I moved in 2017 with my mother, and, you know, I was drinking some wine, and I went to go get some cigarettes at the time. I don't smoke anymore, but at the time I went to go get some cigarettes, and I ended up getting pulled over by the police. I didn't swerve. I didn't do anything. They basically tried to say that I didn't live at the address when I did, and me and the officer got into an argument, and that's all I remember. Anyway, moving forward with the story. So when I was telling my so-called friends that, they were okay with it, but they still had stimulation. So they would be like, okay, well, girl, I want to turn up, so I'm gonna come get you or whatever. And the only thing about the breathalyzer at the time was that I literally had to blow in it in the morning time. So if I had time limits when I could drink. So if I drank 5 o'clock in the afternoon and I kept drinking up until 8, 9 o'clock, my job, I had to get up at like 5:30 in the morning. So when I would blow on my device, my car wouldn't start. I would get the little X's. And I always had to give my car a blow job, which my friends thought was super, super funny. But at the end of the day, I was only hurting myself, and I was only prolonging my time to be on this DWI while they're driving in their car normal. So, that kind of like dampered, the relationship with my friends, because all of my friends liked to turn up or whatever. So it was just like, okay, like, the turn up life, it has to get turned down a little bit. So there's a tow truck right there, which is being super annoying. Anyways, so, that's that. So then I used to tell them, like, look, I cannot, hang out with you guys unless, I don't have to work in the morning, because that was the only way that I felt like I could turn up, but I would still have to take Lyft. So I was paying a lot of money for Lyft because I would want to turn up. And then sometimes it was getting to the point where, like, if I did turn up, then I would have to take a Lyft to work. And it was kind of a little costly, because at the time I worked at a nursing home that was in Larkin Chase, and that building is temporary, closed. But the point that I'm making is that, it was a very rough time for me at that time. And then on top of it, I was working at the nursing home. Then I got a job at the hospital. Then I was working at the airport. If you guys don't know, when I was working at the airport, it was, a little rough. And then on top of it, after me working at the airport, I also started, where else did I start work? Oh, I started working at your house. So, I was in between jobs at the time, and I was hopping around to see, where my niche was. But what I'm saying was, my friends, they weren't trying to hear that. All they were trying to hear was like, when we gonna turn up again? And I couldn't really do it. And then they're like, oh, well, I'll do this and I'll do that. And they knew I was on probation. So where I'm going with this story is that I was trying to abide by my laws that I had, my contract that I had with, the police. So that's how I lost, 2 of my best friends. Now, my other best friend that I did have, we were friends since childhood. The way I, just cut the relationship off with that is because I feel like this: if I'm supposed to be your bestie, and I put that on my short, if I'm supposed to be your bestie, why don't you ever contact me first? Why don't you ever reach out to me first? It's always me reaching out to the other person. And then when I do reach out to them, they be very short, they say stuff, and then, they don't answer or whatever. So it's just like, what's the point of me, having contact with somebody that don't really care about me? Because I feel like this: if you my bestie, there's no way that you're going to be gone there's no way that you're going to be gone out of my life no matter what happens. So I was just like, my childhood best friend that I've been friends with 4 decades is gone, because life has changed, and she has her children, she's engaged. I'm not engaged, I don't have kids. So, our relationship kind of changed, but it was just like, it doesn't hurt to pick the phone up. That's why I be telling y'all, no more part-time friends, okay? Because I feel like if you supposed to be my friend, then it can't be a one-sided way where I'm always calling and texting and blowing up phones and leaving a voicemail. Nah, dead that. I'm not doing that. You know what I'm saying? So I always felt like it was just a hassle for me and a burden for me to call somebody that wouldn't call me back. It's just like one-sided love. You can be in love with a partner, you're showing them all this love, but they never show you any love back. They never buy a present for you for your birthday. They never kiss you. They never tell you I love you. They just shut everything off and they expect you to pour in love. And I felt like that was going on with my friends. And then another friend that I did have or whatever, we had fell out from an argument that was over another guy, which I was just like, it has nothing to really do with me. But you know, it was really to the point where like I had said something crazy to her friend, and you know, I didn't like the guy because he had disrespected me. So I was just like, okay, well, whatever, it is what it is. And you know, she couldn't really apologize to me about it because I had did something foul. She said I talked about somebody else to someone else while I was drunk. And this is how I feel about the situation, is that people want to fault me when I'm drunk, but when they get drunk, they don't want responsibility. So at the end of the day, see, baby is not perfect. Yes, I've made mistakes, but I will say this. I've always came back and apologized and tried to be sincere about the situation. But this is how I go. If someone that is supposed to be my friend hanging out with me and they have some, you know, guy that's disrespecting me, I am not about to sit there and let them disrespect me. And that was, you know, the biggest issue, that she was messing with somebody that was disrespecting me. Insult to injury, I end up seeing him 6 months later sitting at my table where I serve, and he didn't say one word to me. So, you know, I just was like, I just ain't got time for the drama. I feel like this, when you have a bunch of female friends, you don't know who you could trust for real, because I always feel like people be talking behind your back low key. That's what I've always experienced about females when you have a lot of them at one time. It's like people be trying to play with you for real. So moving forward to 2022, I end up, you know, moving out of my mom's place and getting my own stuff. So, you know, I decided to keep 2 other friends, because I was like, you know, I want to have some friends. Like, having no friends is just like, what the heck? So I end up, you know, having 2 friends that I kept around in my life. You know, I would call them. So I get my place and I show them my new place. And if I feel like this, since I've shown people, you know, my place and where I stay and everything, I can turn the light on now because I'm not driving no more. Since I've showed, you know, my place where I stay, people have asked me questions like, how can you afford this and all these other things, and you know, slick stuff like that. And you know, I had to think to myself, if you are genuinely happy with me and you are happy for me, you're not going to be asking me why I can afford this. And I feel like this, when people start asking you like, how can you afford this and what you have, and they know you work very, very hard to get it, it's time to go. Because I've never went over any of my friends' house and asked them or told them, how can you afford this? And I had a friend tell me, how can you afford this? And it really hurt my feelings, because I really work my behind off. I work day and night. When I work my morning job at my healthcare facility job, I get up every single day at 5:30 in the morning. I've said this several times on my channel. I get up at 5:30 in the morning and I take my shower, I put my clothes on, and I go get ready to work with those residents. Then I get off at a job at 3:30, okay? And I go serve tables to people that are disrespectful to me. And I continue my day and get off between 1 o'clock, 1:30, sometimes 2:30 to 3 o'clock, and wake up and do it all over again and make YouTube videos during the week. That's why I'm starting to get bags. So for somebody to say that, it just was like, why am I friends with you? In this video, I'm speaking the truth, y'all. If y'all got somebody in your life is questioning you why you have this and why you have that, it's time to let them go. And I feel like this, If you know I'm grinding every single day on how I get my paper, you should respect my hustle instead of trying to ask me, how can you afford this? Oh, do you still have your new car? Yes, I sure do. I even had a friend ask me, oh, do you still have your new car? And I was like, yeah, I do. What, you was expecting it to get repoed or something? Me personally, like, yes, I still got my new car. I was just shocked and appalled. And the way I feel like this is that when you're winning, that's why I did that short. When you're winning and you're doing something good in your life and people can see it, they are not going to be happy for you. They ain't going to be happy for you for what? Why are they going to be happy for you? And I had to tell myself that. Why are they going to be happy for you? They're not going to be happy for you. They're unhappy with you because you're happy and you have done what you needed to do to succeed. Like, I'm still in a work in progress on trying to get me to the next level. I'm still trying to grind it out and see how I'm gonna get to the next level. Ain't no stop just because I went and got a raggedy apartment in Maryland, and my apartment is okay, but it ain't the best. It's a place to live. I always say, like, I always give thanks to the Lord. I just said that. I just gave thanks to the Lord for a place that I live in. My apartment, I love the way it is because I have a wood top. It kind of looks like luxury, looks like a little loft. So sexy, and it's just for me. But I wanted to get a home, and homes are expensive, and the way the economy is going, it's just things are going so fast, and I cannot keep up. But what I'm trying to say is that the friends that I was hanging around, I really was genuinely thinking these girls got my back. We've been friends for a while. And my other friend that I was cool with, because I really didn't just have 4, I had at least like 4 to 5 female friends. Recently on my birthday, me and her got into like a small argument about something so petty and stupid, and it was just like over nothing. Well, it was over something that someone had said, but I forgave her because she expressed to me that I hurt her, and I don't like hurting people that are innocent. So I just squash the beef for her, and we're still cool. We still talk, but we don't hang out as much. And then I have another friend that I'm not talking to ever again. We're never going to be friends. We're never going to hash it out. Is because she decided to do the ultimate betrayal that I just felt like it was brought out in the wrong way. So I had a friend that was one of my besties. She was on my YouTube channel or whatever. I put a couple of my friends on my YouTube channel. If you guys have been following me for a long time, if you go look at my old vlogs, like, you will see the friends I'm talking about. I have this one friend, we went out, and we went out for my birthday or whatever, and it was just like, as soon as I got there, it was like a weird vibe, and like she was out asking me questions about like what, not really asking me questions, but I had kind of like said how much I paid for my hair. I think I paid like maybe $322 to get my hair done. She was like, oh my God, like, oh, you can afford that, and you got like $600 bags. It was just like really petty. Just like, okay, because I want to wear luxury now, like I'm getting all type of shady comments. And then on top of it, insult to injury, her significant other decided to disrespect me after we left the club, and he called me out my name. I'm not going to go into full detail. That would be a different story time later. I don't feel like really discussing it, but they both had disrespect me on that night, and I was like, I am done with the disrespect with people. Like, it is what it is. Like, no one is going to come into my circle and disrespect me for no reason. So I had to cut the friendship off because I feel like I no longer feel safe, especially when someone has a significant other that is calling you out your name. I cannot feel safe around that. So, I decided to cut that off, and it's okay to be by yourself. Being by myself has been the greatest thing. I'm able to do what I want when I want to do it. I don't have to work, I don't have to work around people's schedule or none of that. Like, when I want to do something, I get it done, and I'm just happy for that. At the end of the day, I do miss those group outings where everybody gets their outfit, but like, girl, let's turn up, let's get drinks, let's have a great time. But this is what I want to say at the end of this video, is that you always have to remind yourself that females are very catty and they are very jealous. I'm not one of those females. I'm not going to be jealous of another female. Like, I don't have time for that. I am a person that likes to celebrate because that's what I do. And any friend that knows me, they know that. But it's just like people have their little hiccups about what I did to them in the past and can't forgive. So it's just like the friends that can't forgive, then you don't need to be in my circle. I only have one friend that forgave me and I'm still cool with her to this day. But at the end of the day, you got to watch these females and what they do and what they say to you, because one minute they cool with you and the next minute they're not. They're like cats that, you know how cats, you can touch them but they don't want to be bothered. That's how it is. And it's at the end of the day, I feel like this: I don't have time and energy to waste on somebody that doesn't think I'm worthy of a phone call, that doesn't think I'm worthy to spend time with, that doesn't think I'm worthy to keep it 100 and not talk behind my back. You know, the person that doesn't think I'm worthy of loyalty at the end of the day. And I'll just be like, you know what? I'm gonna be my own best friend because it's not that serious. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you can get a video every time I upload. I will see you guys in my next video. You guys, not capping, I'm gonna show y'all what time it is, and I gotta get right back up in the morning. This is what, this is my watch. 12:48, you guys, and that's one of my best friends right there in the watch. We still cool, but it is what it is. You know, at the end of the day, you know, please, especially around these times, watch people's behaviors and how they act towards you. You will know if they're your friends or not. So that is all I got to say about this video. I will see you guys later. Bye.